Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today's topic is going to be Active Sky FS. We'll try to answer the question of whether Active Sky FS is worth it or not for Msfs 2024. So what we'll start with doing is we'll try to compare the Active Sky weather with Msfs live weather at a couple of locations. One is around my hometown and second is out here in Chicago. So we'll look at the Chicago comparison first and then go to the hometown so that I can also share some real screenshots from outside. Hopefully there are clouds. I haven't seen outside really. Hopefully there are clouds and we can compare the resemblance better. Okay, so this is Chicago here. And oh, by the way, before getting into the topic, please make sure you leave a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel. This channel is totally free. There's no memberships. I put out everything for free and I do not earn anything from this channel. So I would highly appreciate some motivation from you guys, which would, be basically just liking and subscribing. It helps a lot with me getting motivated to make these videos for free for you guys. And yeah, if you want me to make some video, just leave a comment. I usually just look at the comments and decide the next topics for my videos. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get into the topic. This is ORD right now. Oh, by the way, and I'll also share my Active Sky FS settings at the end of the video, so hang around for that. This is ORD, and I'm gonna pull up the Active Sky window to show you guys what the METAR report looks like here. So this is a decoded METAR. It has 330, 8 knots wind, 10 plus statute mild visibility, which makes sense. That's what we are seeing. Clouds few at 5,000 feet, temperature 16, and 1024. So we have a few clouds at 5,000 feet, which it looks like, I would say this is more like scattered. I don't know, because broken is where you have a ceiling, but this looks more like scattered. I can't really tell. So here it's few. So basically above the airport, it looks like the weather is accurate. It has few clouds, but then further down, maybe the weather changes and it's broken or scattered. I don't know. But anyway, let's look at only this area. So it looks pretty convincing and accurate, but this is Active Sky. Now let's switch to Msfs live weather, and we know the METAR report now. We have few clouds at 5,000, so that's what we are basically considering as our real weather. Now I'm gonna switch to Msfs live weather. So what you would do is you would come to WX control here, sim depiction mode, and make it passive. So what this does is the live weather will be coming in from Msfs if you enable this mode, but the effects and stuff like the turbulence effects and all of that still stays enabled from Active Sky. So if you don't like the Active Sky live weather, you can always switch to the Msfs live weather and just keep Active Sky running for the turbulence and air effects. Okay, so there it is. That is Msfs live weather, which is surprising to me because the METAR report says that we have few clouds at 5,000, but I don't see a single cloud here with Msfs live weather. And again, I can't really tell if this is accurate compared to real world because I don't know what the reference is here. I don't have any real photos of Chicago right now. I did ask my friend for a photo who lives somewhere around here, and when she took a photo, the focal length was really low and she did not see any clouds. But I can't really tell because I don't have a full image of the sky. But yeah, looks like there are some clouds at the end here somewhere further down, but nothing really going on around the airport, which is very surprising to me because the METAR report says that there are few clouds at 5,000. There are some cirrus clouds, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so it seems like Active Sky weather might be more accurate here. Maybe let's switch it back to Active Sky and see if it does the exact same thing again. So it'll go through this weather setup, and there you go. The weather has popped in now. Interesting. So yeah, Active Sky shows that there are few clouds, but Msfs live weather does not. Now what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna quickly I'm gonna quickly look up KORD meta report online just to make sure that we are looking at the right meta report. So yeah, it does say 330 at 8 knots, 10 statute mile visibility, few clouds at 5,000, 3023. Interesting. So yeah, that's a little bit disappointing from the MSFS live weather standpoint, but I can't really compare it to real world weather. So let me not be too decisive on this. But what I can say is active sky weather looks very convincing here. Now we are going to switch to my hometown, which is I have some photos of my hometown obviously from a friend. So I'll put those real photos up and we'll compare active sky and MSFS live weather against those real photos. So I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so next I've spawned into where I live, and I have taken a photo of the outside of the skies outside, so we'll be able to do a one-to-one comparison here with real world as well. This is active sky. The meta report shows that it's clear, there's no clouds, and active sky also hasn't loaded any clouds. And here's a real world photo that I took just right now. We do have some clouds here, like very wispy, like very small clouds, but nothing that has been detected in the meta report. So I guess active sky is going by the meta report and it's doing what it should. Okay, now let's switch to the MSFS live weather here. So we'll go to sim depiction mode and go passive and hit OK. I'll pull this back to the other screen, and then now MSFS live weather should load in a few seconds. I'm hoping that this is not it. I'll wait for a couple of more seconds maybe. Well, I think this may be it. Yeah, this is it. So MSFS live weather for some reason thinks that there are a lot of clouds around here, while the meta report actually says that it should be clear skies. That is very interesting. So now I don't know how things work in the background, but I can tell you that active sky weather is more accurate when I compare it to my real world location and to a real world photo. So switching back to active sky now, it should go back to clear skies, and there you go. So yeah, if I take a photo, if I take a 360 photo, maybe you'll see one or two clouds like these, but that is pretty much it. I don't see any other clouds, while MSFS thinks that there are a lot of clouds. It's almost scattered kind of weather when the meta report actually says that it's not. So that's very interesting. But yeah, that's just a reference for you, that in terms of accuracy, live weather from active sky maybe superior to the MSFS live weather. Now, if you guys don't think so, then you let me know in the comments, because I have only compared two locations, but you guys might have this add-on already and might have compared it with your hometown location, something. Just let me know how it went and what you think about active sky versus MSFS live weather. Okay, so the last part of the video is where I'm going to share my active sky settings, which is I think something that you guys had asked me for in the past. So I'll only go over the important settings here. So download interval is set to 15 minutes. Clone departure and destination weather is disabled. VATSIM online weather is disabled. Everything else is just basic stuff. Prevent downloads on approach and departure. This is exactly what you want, because you don't want the weather changing on you while you're trying to do a landing, right? So that should be enabled for sure. So that's all I could say about the general options. Now going to the simulator depiction options, depict hurricanes, depiction smoothing rate, I have made it to 25. So the lower the rate, the slower will be your transitions between one weather download to the second weather download, which is exactly what I want. And I feel like 25 has worked pretty well for me. If you want, you can make this 10 as well, and then the weather transition will be even slower. So you will not be able to see these apparent changes in weather while you're flying, which is great. So that's that. And then periodic theme reload interval. What's this? I didn't really look into this. Sets the interval in minutes between recalculation of local conditions, weather, rebuilding visual cloud theme, and sending to. Okay, this works in addition to your download interval. I'm not sure what this one is, but I just leave it to whatever the default was. It says default was 7, current settings 10. I haven't really changed this, so just leave it as is. Enable temperature based altimeter errors, I leave this to off. Enable surface wind attenuation, I leave this to off as well. Snow ground cover, anything above 2.5, I don't want the snow to be visible. So it says the temperature at which ground snow will be cancelled. That's my setting here. Enable direct wind control. Enable this option to have ASFS force all the aloft wind layers to match the computed ambient winds for more expected wind conditions and elimination of aloft wind shifts. Basically, it's giving more control to ASFS in terms of, simulating the winds with altitude. Cloud density adjustment. This is the most important one. Make sure you leave this to 100. What me and my friend, both of us, Sim Chronicles, we have seen is that MSFS live weather doesn't handle cloud density very well. You have very low dense clouds which don't really look like real clouds at all. So one of the main reasons I actually have Active Sky is this setting. You have cloud density adjustment, and you can push it all the way up so that the clouds that you get will be very nicely dense. Obviously, there will be clouds that are wispy and not dense, and those will be depicted in that way. But just that, the freedom of having dense clouds with turbulence. That's another thing with MSFS live weather is you don't see any turbulence in the clouds. If you fly through a cumulonimbus cloud or something, you will not feel any turbulence at all. While with Active Sky, you will feel real turbulence when you fly through the clouds. So cloud density adjustment, I leave it to 100. Wind speed limiter, I have it to default value. You don't really want to limit the maximum winds to anything. You just want to have Active Sky look at the meta report and then put in the winds. Cloud options, maximum cloud turbulence, I've pushed that all the way to 100. Prevent thunderstorms when CB reported, I've unselected that because we do want to have Active Sky trigger the TS when there are thunderstorms. Force broken to 7 to 8, we leave this alone as well. We don't want any force to be applied on the way the cloud depiction works. The 5 on 8, 6 on 8, 7 on 8, this is basically just cloud depiction, the way of saying that how much of the sky is covered with clouds. So what this says is force broken to 7 to 8 means if the meta report says that there are there's broken clouds at whatever altitude, this will force broken clouds to 7 by 8. So 7/8 of the sky will basically be covered with clouds. This increases the coverage and density of broken clouds but reduces potential variation. We don't want this. We'll just leave it as is. Okay. And then add clouds for cab. Okay. And so if there's no significant weather or anything, this will add clouds, which we don't want as well. So that's that. Wind settings. Maximum surface winds 100. We'll never see that. Maximum wind turbulence is set to 100. Turbulent effect scale is 50, but you can change this according to what you want. If you fly a lot of airliners, maybe you can reduce the intensity. If you fly GA, maybe you can push it up. Turbulence rotational effect preference, this is also default. I think default values work pretty well. Wind shear set to maximum. So if there is wind shear, you will you will feel it. Force ATC wind lock is disabled. Enable so that surface wind will be minimum 6 knots and not change the departure. We don't want this, right? Disable winds aloft, we don't want this. We want ASFS to set up winds aloft data for us. Interlayer wind interpolation, yes, we do want that. Wake turbulence strength can be 50. You can really increase this, but yeah, it doesn't really affect me that much. Maximum downdraft 1500, maximum updraft thermal rate 1500, doesn't matter much for me. Realistic thunderstorm up and down draft, yes, have this on. Random light chop turbulence percentage, yeah, I can maybe push this up to 50. I think frequency of just random chops of turbulence, if you've flown in real life, you will know that when you're flying, you'll just feel some random chops happening, which doesn't happen in MSFS live, but you can simulate that with ASFS. Reduce turbulence near surface, no, we don't want that. We want it to give us whatever turbulence there is. Fog layer generation, what this does is, if there is fog reported in the METAR, it will basically generate a wispy cloud around the ground, at the ground level, which emulates fog. Now you can have this enabled if you don't have Rex Atmos. If you have Rex Atmos, I would control the fog using the particle absorption and adsorption, or whatever those sliders are in the Atmos settings. If you haven't watched my Atmos settings video, I'll link my Atmos and reshade settings video in the description, along with my MSFS settings as well, with a full settings guide. So if you want, you can check those out. I'll leave all those links. But yeah, if you're only using Active Sky without Atmos, you would want this to be enabled so that you can have realistic simulation of fog. It'll basically add a nice cloud that simulates fog on the ground when there is fog reported in the METAR report. Minimum surface visibility is 0 and maximum is 13. This really doesn't matter for 2024. I control my surface visibility mainly through Atmos. So if I'm flying somewhere in India, I would totally crank up those particle absorption sliders up, so that I can have a realistic low visibility look, which is usually the case in India, while in America you can just basically leave this as is, doesn't matter. This setting definitely doesn't matter. You can leave the particle absorption settings to some low realistic value, which I have here. Like you can see, there is some haze in the horizon, but not a lot, because the visibility report says that it's 10 plus statute mile visibility. Okay, force low humidity in high visibility condition. I don't think this works as well for MSFS 2024, so that's not a question. Audio options, I'll just switch through these. I didn't really change any of them, but in case you want to copy it from me. Sim tips, sure, these are my settings. And then warning, that's just notify when new version is available. So yeah, that's my Active Sky settings. And in terms of how to use it, you go to WX control, Active Sky preset control. If live weather is active, you need to be on this for Active Sky to be injecting weather into the sim. If you make it passive, that means you'll still have the turbulence and all the effects that we talked about in the options, but you will not have any clouds or weather being controlled by Active Sky. The weather and clouds, the weather will be controlled by MSFS live, but the effects will still be controlled by Active Sky if it is on passive. And then you have historical and manual, which is very self-explanatory. You can activate weather at any time up to, I don't know how much really you can go back. Looks like you can go back pretty far out, which is interesting. So yeah, you have historical weather, and then you have custom weather. If you want to import weather from some location, let's say I want to import weather from here, you would just right click, add new custom weather area, and then apply it to like 2000 nautical miles, or whatever that number is, and then you'll be able to load custom weather here. You can also put in METAR reports. I just don't mess with this at all, so I'm not very savvy with how custom weather works. I usually am only on live weather mode active. So yeah, that's pretty much all about that. And then you have map here where you can look at clouds and visibility and everything, right? And then if you go to conditions, this is where you can look for meta reports, current weather, wind aloft data and stuff like that. So it's really cool. And mainly why I use Active Sky, I'll conclude by saying that Active Sky changes the cloud structure. It increases the accuracy of your live weather, and I just really like how it has variation in the cloud formations. So not all clouds are cumulus or cumulonimbus, which is how MSFS kind of does it. Active Sky will have much more variation in cloud structure and cloud formation, which is why I really like it, and it just looks much more realistic, which you would have seen in all of my recent videos. So I would say don't sleep on this add-on. It's definitely a very convincing add-on to buy. I think it's like $30 or something like that. I'll probably put it on the screen in post. But yeah, definitely worth it. I haven't flown without Active Sky Live Weather since I bought this add-on. So yeah, hopefully that helps you guys in setting up Active Sky, and also helps you guys in deciding whether this is the right add-on for you or not, because some add-on can be right for some people, may not be right for others. Like you would say that for Atmos as well, right? But yeah, that's all I had for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm pretty much going to upload videos every other day. It can either be a landing video or just me talking through some add-on like I did today, or something about maybe real world aviation even. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video or on the next live stream. Bye.